indicated it was mirrored on criminal responsibility versus competency, but the issue is in fact the same, where in fact when I had conversations with Dr. Shields at the Forensic Center, if my client on a given interview had a day of lucidity and presented competent, okay, certainly that could change on another given day. There was lots of records to review, and I just did get, when your court recorder secretary asked me today, I just got this report faxed to me yesterday, and I was somewhat surprised that I got it so late, considering that it was talked about in the media. In any event, because of the issues that I raised previously, oppositional defiance disorder, ADD, ADHD, bipolar, depression, everything, which he has been medicated for a significant period of time, I think it's incumbent on me in my representation of him to seek out an independent. And I would be asking that of you today. Thank you.
Just received the report yesterday.
I just got it yesterday via fax, Your Honor. I still haven't gotten one through the mail yet, and they don't understand why we didn't get it, but we have not gotten it. This was faxed to me by Terry of Dr. Shields' office yesterday. At the end of the day, it was after 4 o'clock by the time we got it. It was about 4:30.
All right. In light of the prosecutor's stance on this issue and the desire to be more safe than sorry, the court will grant the request.
Thank you, Your Honor. I will present an order. I have a proposed order today, but unfortunately, all the provisions within the order have not been okayed. So until I get okayed by Ms. Hanson, the prosecutor's office, I'll present it to you hopefully no later than tomorrow.
All right.
Is that okay?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. I'm sorry, Judge.
But we will need it by Tuesday, because sometimes that had this happen and I get some weeks and
No,
we got to keep this rolling.
no problem. I understand. I totally understand, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
Were we gonna set that for a review date?
March 8th.
March 8th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I did, Your Honor. All right.
Your Honor, the people also received a copy, and while the people would stipulate to competency, I believe defendant is asking for an independent at this time.
That is correct, Your Honor. I had a pre-evaluation done prior to the Forensic Center evaluation, and the two reports are widely divergent, and I think it's better and more prudent and more careful, especially considering the serious nature of the charges, to have an independent evaluation done. I've talked to the prosecutor about it, and I think that that's the wisest course for everybody.
People don't object, Your Honor.
All right. Court will grant the request. Will you take this, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
So,
I'll have to hire my own
yeah,
expert.
that's all. All right, take it away to get to it.
I will, Judge. Last time we were here, the court indicated that the court would not consider bond until the court had heard all the evidence. Is that correct?
Correct.
So I don't need to launch into a very compelling bond motion at this point?
Unless there have been changed circumstances.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. I received the report back from the Forensic Center. Did you receive a copy?
We did receive a copy, Judge. We've gone over that. Attorney Myers, myself, as well as Trevor have reviewed that copy. We are also going to make a request for an independent evaluation on today's date. We do feel that it is essential due to the nature of the charges, our client's very young age, that we make a request for an independent evaluation.
People don't object, Your Honor.
All right, that request will be granted, and I just request the order be filed with the budget.
I actually have a order, a proposed order with me today, if I may, Judge. It would require, Attorney Myers is in fact retained. I am appointed through the Genesee County Probate Court, so it's kind of different circumstances. That being said, Trevor is, we would make the argument, is indigent. He's young, he's held at GBRC, and he cannot afford the funds for an independent evaluation. In that regard, I did contact the Public Defender Administrator, Barbara Minier. She did make an approval for funds at a public expense for this independent evaluation, and I have a proposed order, if I may approach.
Yes, please.
Thank you. Just let my client know, obviously the dishonorable court of the law requires a change in circumstances for a bond to be made, and that is why there is no change of circumstances presently. So we understand it's out of the court's position that there will be no change in bond.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
People of the state of Michigan versus Alexzander Sean Miller, case number 17-2301.
Now, Karen Hansen for the people. Seated beside me is Sergeant Jason Murphy with the Genesee County Sheriff's Department.
James Gust on behalf of Mr. Miller.
All right.
This is one of the co-defendants. I know that the other three co-defendants have asked for independent evaluations, and we have set their forensic review for March 8th, 2018. I did have an opportunity to speak with the victim's family and ask them if they were okay with the cases being separated and going forward with the two that didn't go, and they represented they did not want to have to listen to this 2 times. So I would ask that we keep both Miller and Payne with the other co-defendants so we can just do this exam once.
The people of the state of Michigan versus Caden Malay Payne, case number 17-2301.
Karen Hansen for the people, Your Honor. Seated beside me is Sergeant Jason Murphy with the Genesee County Sheriff's Department.
Good morning, Your Honor. Michael Manley on behalf of McCaden Payne, who is present before the court. Judge, today was the date and time set for review hearing. We're the last of the co-defendants to be called. 3 of my co-counsel have gotten up today and asked for independent evaluations based on the forensic evaluation request that they had made in, I believe, early November. At that point in time, our case was adjourned until today. I've had the opportunity to speak with my client several times at length. He has no psychological issues, no mental health issues, no behavioral issues. I've spoken to his parents who reiterate those types of things. So for those reasons, we did not make a motion for forensic evaluation as it relates to competency. I do believe that he understands the nature and the object of the proceedings against him, and he has been able to rationally assist me in this case. However, and I would agree with my co-counsel who made these motions with the independent evaluation. If I was in their shoes, I would have done the exact same thing, and I appreciate that the court has granted that. However, I do believe now that my client does have a change in circumstance because of the delay is not attributable to him or our defense. So I understand, Judge, I've been in this court so many times, and one of the refreshing things about this court is you are consistent. And I understand there's not a factual change of circumstance. I understand that there has been no testimony that this court could hear and analyze to make that type of decision. So I do respect that, and I do know that 2 of my co-counsel have made the request for bond and have acknowledged no circumstantial change, and that bond has not been changed. So I do respect that. However, I would like to just place on the record that for judicial economy, I understand that. I've spoken to Mrs. Hansen, or Ms. Hansen. She has indicated that the victim's family does not want to have separate examinations. I'm very respectful and sensitive to that issue.